In this video we're going to look at header styles, and we'll show you some options for the header layout, and there's multiple styles to choose from, and we'll look at integrating images into your header. So to do this we need to go to the Design tab and the main Design sub-tab here, and we'll click Edit, and it's going to open up the Edit window, which will show us the options for the header design. And in another video we looked at this top gradation, this top fade thing here. But what we want to do in this video is just run through all the different header styles. And so let me flip over to the demo website right now. The header is this area right here. And so this is usually where you've got your logo. Sometimes it's nice to have some images in here. And so it's kind of one of the most important parts of your website. So we've created some real easy to use ways of changing how this looks. Now what you see here is the background image showing through, and then I've got a faded gradation here, and then the logo is centered. And so I don't actually, this is I added this later, but basically without this header background and this set to black and the logo set to center, it would look like this. Now once I add the background in here, it will look like this. So you can imagine, just you could create something in Photoshop or a graphics program that has images and photos of people or houses or whatever. You could just imagine there's a lot of flexibility here because you can just totally replace this entire image here. And you can also make it so that that image fades out because as you can see it actually lays behind the navigation and the tops of these boxes down here. So there's a lot of flexibility there. So that's the header option number 1. And if we go to header option number 2, let's go, and these two are number 1. Now this is starting with header option number 2. And the main difference with header option number 2 is that it integrates some photos up here. And the way the photos work is every time you load a page, it's going to randomly put a new one in here. And so you can control what photos go in there simply by uploading the images here, and you can change the order and all that. And then you can choose the style of frame that you want the photos to go in. So this style, this rectangular border style number 1, is this one here. So it takes your photo and kind of crops it into like a rectangle to kind of help fill up some of this space. And so you can still change this background image to something else, or you can totally take the background out of there and just go with the color that's in there. So it's just up to you, whatever you want to do. But that's the rectangle border. The style number 2 is called stacked photos, and that looks like this. So it's kind of a old-fashioned looking stacked of old photos. And so as you click through the different pages, it would load a different one in here. And then we've got a wide version of that too. And so that's this one. So it's just the same idea, but it just fills the space a little bit more. So it's a wider stack of photos. And then we've also got a rustic wooden frame, which looks like this. So you can imagine the uses of these header styles are pretty great. Combining the images inside of here and the different framing options and then the background image. And these frames, most of them have like a nice drop shadow that just blends seamlessly into your background image here. And you can also use a tiled image, like just to create some texture up here. Or you could just go with the standard solid color and have it fade, from white or black like that. So there's a lot of flexibility with the design, and let's just kind of skim through these again. So the header style number 2 integrates the framed photos up here like this, and the header style number 1 does not, but you may want to do something with a background image instead of those photos. And then let's look at the header style number 3. This is a different idea. Let me show you what that looks like. There, this is header style number 3. So what it does is it uses the image that you upload, but it fades it into either white or black, and it can either be 200 pixels tall or 300 pixels tall. So this one, 200 and white, will look like this. And it also has a little border inside of here too. So that's that one. And then if we if we changed it to 300 and flipped it over to black, you could also leave it on white if you wanted, but that's what this looks like. So if you do black, you just need to make sure that your logo has some white areas around it or something so that you can still see it. But you can see this is a nice tall image here, and it's using the images that you upload yourself, and it just automatically resizes those and crops in on them. So when you choose your images, just keep in mind that they're going to be fading out on the sides, and they're going to have to be cropped, and so they might not line up exactly how you want them. If for example, if it was like a vertical photo and it was really small, then it would get stretched across and it wouldn't look quite right. So just make sure that when you're choosing your photos for your header that you are kind of choosing images that are not incredibly critical as far as how they might get cropped, like this. So but there's still plenty of options. You can have like people doing stuff, medical office or whatever. You can still do a lot with these header designs. So those are some header styles that you can play around with, and the sky's the limits really on what you can do with the design in the header. And so we've looked at the header styles, and these are some very advanced tools. They're easy to use, and the options, and there's multiple styles to choose from. You can change them anytime you want, and then just integrating images into your header.